So next thing I want to do is look at how Revit is considering this model and using it to create floor plans and sections. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my plan A1. And if I zoom in on this, I'm scrolling my middle mouse wheel, you'll see that it's actually sectioning. And just so you know, there is this thin line, so it's up here in your quick access toolbar. If you click on it, you can also type TL and it turns the line weights on and off. So you can see it's actually sectioning that, and that those section lines are a little thicker. We can control those, and we'll talk about it later. The next thing I'm going to do is double click on my Plan A1 schematic. And I'm going to come up here and close my 3D view. So just close it. So I just have Plan A1 and Plan A1 schematic open. Then I'm going to type WT for window tile and ZA. And so basically I have two of the same floor plans with different representations. So Revit allows you to have different view settings, and you can actually use the schematic one to place on a sheet and work in the messy one. So it's kind of like when you're in Rhino, when you have your big messy plan and then you go into production mode, you have to make a copy of it off to the side and kind of fix it. You don't have to do that in Revit. You can actually just set the view settings differently, and we'll look at how we do that. So how is it creating these floor plans? So I'm going to go to TW, which will reverse the window tile and make whichever view is current full screen. And I'm going to go to my Plan A3 schematic, right? And it's kind of sectioning, but only a little teeny bit at the top. And then what I'm going to do is close my inactive views by coming up to my quick access toolbar and clicking on them, right? So it closes all of the views except that one. And then I'm going to open up my west elevation, right? And then I'm going to do that WT, so WT for window tile and ZA again. And I'll zoom in on my west elevation and kind of zoom in on this floor plan. So what's cutting this floor plan at level 3 is this level is a plane that gets cut all the way through the model, and it goes up 4 feet above that and cuts it. So it's just hitting the tips of the top of this model. So if I wanted this to actually cut correctly, what I want to do is align this Plan A3 with the top of the floor, right? So if I go into my modify command, there is an align command. And this is kind of important. If you use the move, it actually deletes the thing that you are moving and remakes it. So for example, if I pick this and go to move and move it from here to there, right? It'll say elements will be deleted. And if you click OK, it actually deletes the level and then recreates it, which is a little weird, right? So I'm going to Control Z back until I've got this guy back up here. And instead, I'm going to use the align command. So I'm going to align with the top of the floor, the level. And what that's going to do is instead of deleting it, it's actually going to leave it. So if I go to my Plan A3 schematic and WTZA again, you can see that it's updated that to represent the new location of the level. So if I pick this and kind of nudge it up, so I'm nudging it with the arrow key, you can see it changing the section as I move through the beams and up above the roof, right? Again, using the align command, align with the top of that sets it. If I come into the A3 schematic, there is a view range. And if I click on the view range, edit, it'll show me that it's using Plan A3. It's cutting the section plane at 4 feet, right? And it's looking down negative 21 feet below Plan A3, right? So I could actually tell it I don't want to look below and hit apply. It's not going to change it a whole lot because level 3, there's not a lot, that changes when you do that, but you can control like sort of how far that guy is going. So again, this view range, if I change it to, 2 feet and hit apply, now it's cutting at a different height right above the floor. So if I go in and click on this show over here, it'll actually give you sort of a readout of what's going on, like the primary top range, the cut plane, the bottom of the range, the view depth level, primary view depth, and view range, right? So you can look over this stuff. But basically that's what it's doing, is creating a three-dimensional sort of cropping box. So the, outline of how big it is in the X and Y, and then the depth and the Z, and showing you that 3D model.